Welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to run through how to use SightSet to accurately calculate the adjustments that you need to make to zero your sights. If you're anything like me, you'll have already wasted a fair amount of ammunition in the past, either dividing ranges when you should have multiplied them or turning an adjustment turret in the wrong direction. No longer. Not only is SightSet easy and quick to set up, but because there are no calculations involved, it removes those errors. It also allows you to efficiently zero your sights based on your shooting observations on the day, reducing wastage of costly ammunition. So, let's pick up where we left at the end of tutorial 1. As a quick refresher, we need to provide SightSet with 4 pieces of information to allow it to calculate the adjustments we need to make. The sight we're using so it knows what click settings to use, the target so it can calculate the distances that shots fall from the center point, how far away we are from the target, and finally, it needs to know how big we want the shot marker to appear on the target. So here we are on the adjustment screen with all of that information entered. We fire our first shot and observe where it hits. To record it on the target, we tap on the Play Shots button in the central control panel. The tab navigation controls slide out of the way to reveal a bank of buttons at the bottom of the screen. To record the first shot, we tap on the plus button. 3 things happen. A circular shot marker and crosshairs appear in the center of the target. The shot counter now shows a value of 1/-. This shows that this is the first shot and there are currently no other shots on screen. And finally, different control buttons become active, a tick and a trash can. When I place my finger on the target area, you'll see that the shot marker and crosshairs jump to where my finger is, but slightly offset so I can see where the marker is without my finger getting in the way. I can now move the marker around until it matches where the bullet hit the target. If I need to make fine adjustments, I could zoom in by pinching on the screen. Once I'm satisfied, I tap on the tick button and everything springs to life. In the target section, the marker changes colour. The plus marker is activated along with 2 other controls, including an edit button, which we'll deal with later. In the elevation and windage sections, several things have happened. In each section, SightSet has determined how far the shot has fallen from the centre. At the same time, based on the first shot, SightSet is telling us the adjustment needed to zero the sight. In this case, we would need to rotate the elevation control clockwise 14 clicks and the windage control counterclockwise 16 clicks to zero the sight. But before we make any adjustments to the sights, let's take a few more shots and see what happens. As soon as we accept the placement for the second shot, SightSet averages the 2 shots and adjusts the recommended settings. And so we can keep adding shots and refining the adjustment each time. This last shot is off by a mile, so rather than accept it, we may as well just drop it straight in the trash. So what we end up with is something like this. And this is quite typical. We have a reasonable group of shots apart from the first one, which is obviously a bit off. Maybe the barrel was cold, maybe I just wasn't sufficiently settled. Either way, the first shot will adversely influence the calculations, and so I want to exclude it. So, how do I do that? Well, that's exactly what the edit button's for. Tapping the edit button gives us access to some player controls. Okay, so let's look at this in detail. The first thing to note is that the shots have changed colour. The last shot that we accepted is now red and at the centre of the crosshairs, which have reappeared. We can tell it's the last shot because the shot counter is now highlighted and showing that we're on shot 5 of 5. At the same time, the only player controls that are active are the rewind and step backward buttons. So let's step backward. Immediately that we do, the fast forward and step forward buttons spring to life and the shot counter shows us which shot we're currently on. We can use these controls to cycle through the individual shots. Let's just hit the rewind to get to that first shot. And here we are at shot 1 of 5. To delete it, we just tap on the trash can. All the references are immediately updated, but what's really important is that we've now removed the influence of that anomalous first shot, and we can see that reflected in the new correction settings that SightSet is suggesting. Finally, we can just tap Done to leave edit mode and apply the recommended adjustments to our sights. If we want to, we can also clear the target ready for the next set of adjustments, just by tapping on the blue and white arrow button to enter the set scenario screen. And there you have it. We've reached the end of this tutorial and you're now equipped with the basics of using SightSet. We've also covered using the shot edit controls and how it improves accuracy, and how to reset the target. So really, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to use SightSet. If you're interested, in the next tutorial we're going to take a look at favorites. If you use SightSet regularly, favorites are really going to save you time and make your life an awful lot easier.